You know how in my How to Solve a Problem Like Friendly Geordies video, I pointed out that since Jodi McKay became opposition leader of New South Wales, state politics editor of the Sydney Morning Herald / snarling demon Alexandra Smith had written like 3 articles on her and 103 about Gladys Berejiklian. May I just say, wow, her bias is completely fixed. Straight after that video was released, she wrote the most charitable article she's ever written about Jodi McKay, which, remember, she's written 3 articles, so it's not saying much, but it was Labor pushes for more jobs in the bush to revive economy environment. She obviously meant to put in an end, but she's so lazy, and it definitely wasn't to save face at all that she didn't even do that. So tick 4 to 103 or whatever. Good on you, Alexandra. Bias fixed. But then after this winning streak, she went back and acted like Jodi McKay was a Liberal with principles, i.e. didn't exist. Until it came out that a Liberal Party staffer was raped in a ministerial office and Scott Morrison covered it up.
Speaker, as I said this morning, I became aware of the alleged sexual assault at about 8:30 yesterday morning. That is true. That is when I became aware of it, Mr Speaker, and the first that my office became aware of an alleged sexual assault, I'm advised, was on the 5th of April of this year. Sorry. No, the 12th, I'm sorry, I've misread that, apologies. The 12th of February 2021. That's when my office first became aware, I'm advised, of an alleged sexual assault.
I mean, it's literally the Simpsons meme. I can't divulge info about the police investigation that opened on April 5th, 2019 that would have ruined my election chances. Oh crap, I shouldn't have said the police knew about the incident. Oh crap, I shouldn't have said the case was opened on April 5th 2 years ago. Oh crap, I certainly shouldn't have said it would coincide with the election. I better consult with Jenny. I didn't make that, but whoever did, I give you credit. I don't know, Matt Groening. So naturally, Alexandra Smith, the opposition leader obliterator that she is, has a journalistic responsibility to drop as much as possible on Labor to distract the fact that we have a Liberal Prime Minister that covered up rape and committed an offence by misleading Parliament. And she did that with this incredible, clearly public interest exclusive. McKay backman for visa despite indecent assault conviction. And the SMH knew what they were doing is clearly gutter journalism, so they turned off the comments in advance. Jodi McKay, as a local MP, forwarded some documentation onto a tribunal as to whether this man could stay in Australia. It was falsely categorised by that tribunal as a letter of support. Turns out that that man was a pedo, and yet somehow all of that bureaucratic error that had nothing to do with Jodi McKay is Jodi McKay's fault. Good on you, Alexandra. Got to the bottom of that one, didn't you? F*** you suck. I'd ask you how you sleep at night, but I'm pretty sure you're a ghoul. You don't sleep. She made someone else's administrative error into Jodi McKay supports pedos. And then when Jodi McKay denies it, the headlines become Jodi McKay denies supporting pedos. No one supports pedos. This is what the public thinks because of this journalism. You look around, I have seen the press report, and they don't even know her name. I have seen 2 journalists on television. I'll forgive one of them because they're Karl Stefanovic's brother. But the other one, what's your excuse for calling her Jodi McKay? They know so little about her, and so even to the press, all they have on her is, isn't your policy in the next election to be pro-pedos? Yeah, as a mainstream workers' party, that's their only platform. ScoMo being under pressure kickstarted the way too common phenomenon known as the free press. ScoMo does something bad, needs to distract media. Alex Hawke or one of his other simpy fixes drops to the media. One outlet runs it. The rest of the media pick up on the smear. Shock say exactly, in all my 30 years of broadcasting, I have never seen something as disgraceful as what insert name has done. Insert name, you need to resign now. Then anonymous Labor MPs start slinging mud at Jodi, sensing a chance to get their preferred leader in. So now that you've seen part 1 of the rest of the press picking up on it, here's part 2.
I'm sorry to say for Jodi McKay, but she is a dead woman walking, politically speaking. The opposition leader wrote a letter for a pedophile who was applying for a bridging visa. There are some telling signs coming out of New South Wales Labor about Jodi McKay's future or lack of future.
Ben, you have an audience of exclusively 80-year-olds and you accidentally retweeted pornography of specifically a rim job. No one listening to you even knows what that is. But I do. Yet you're saying Jodi McKay's finished because of someone else's mistake? Can't you at least afford her the same leniency she afforded you by still going on your show, even after you may or may not have wanked on an office computer? Yuck. Go to a public library like everyone else. Here's part 6, Rats in a Sinking Ship.
But have a listen to some of the comments shared with me from some of her own colleagues. These are sitting Labor MPs, and I quote, "Jodi hasn't got the depth or the intellect to be leader. Her polling is the worst in New South Wales opposition history."
Oh, okay, gotcha. Jodi should resign for basically your neighbour's mail accidentally being delivered to you. Let's have a look at some of the other scandals over the last year or two that didn't warrant resignations. John Barilaro was found by me and Michael West Media to have debt-trapped the Italian community of Queanbeyan in order to steal their clubhouse. No resignations. One article. Was it written by Smith, who's the head state politics editor? No. Here's one for Dashcam Owners Australia. David Elliott, the police minister, impersonated a police officer to intimidate a 17-year-old P-plater in a road rage incident. Gladys Berejiklian illegally shredded government documents. Dom Perrottet ripped off every injured worker in the state. Brad Hazard let in the Ruby Princess. I'm pretty sure the guy that let in the Trojan horse in Troy was demoted. Oh, and who could forget, just a little footnote, Gladys Berejiklian had a secret relationship with a corrupt MP that didn't declare it, that she should resign just on that. Not only did she turn a blind eye to his corruption, she then took over a government department to help him with it and then lied to ICAC. Still there. But no, Jodi needs to resign. Why? Because you blocked. Let's be real about why Jodi has to resign. It's the same reason that Michael Daly did, the same reason that Luke Foley did, the same reason that John Robertson did. If you're on the side of the people, you have to resign for looking at someone the wrong way. But if you're on the side of corruption, you're Teflon. Listen to this awful careerist's opinion piece on Gladys Berejiklian. This is her covering up for her corruption. If last year wasn't remarkable enough, Gladys Berejiklian defied political logic and survived a sex scandal that would have ended the career of perhaps any other politician. Yeah, I wonder why. You and the press seem to think that ICAC is just a state-funded version of that show Hot or Not. How am I telling the state editor of New South Wales politics, as in, this is the most senior, best gun they have, really shouldn't have to tell you that it's the Independent Commission Against Corruption, not the Independent Commission Against Cunnilingus. Gladys Berejiklian is objectively corrupt, unfit for office, yet you're still playing cover for her. And to the Labor rats dropping to Fairfax and the Murdoch press, hoping that their preferred leader gets in, I've got some bad news for you. You think the press is going to be satiated by killing the career of one more Labor leader, do you? You think this is just like feeding that fat guy in the Monty Python sketch a mint? Think again. They knocked off John Robertson for something almost as salacious and trivial. They got Luke Foley on an allegation of indecent touching that was never proven. Michael Daly was done for using the A word, Asian. And now they're saying that Jodi McKay likes pedos. So don't worry, they'll find something on the next leader, anything. They'll just get a dart, chuck it at one of his press releases. China is a country that exists. Chris Minns doesn't believe that Taiwan's a country. You know what's so infuriating about all the reasons the press give for why Labor leaders should resign? Unlike the reasons that I gave for the Libs, it's just dobbing. It's just a bunch of smarmy private school pricks using the same prefect little fucking strategies they use. Look, fucking Lucy Cormick, fucking school captain. Miss Jacinda likes pedophiles. Jordan's obsessed with Joe Hildebrand. He's stalking him. Use the A word! The A word! And you can just tell, not even the jocks from high school, the fucking nerds, the fucking nerds are in these positions of power, sinking legitimately good people's careers and people that actually want to help the state out as well. People that they'll never fucking see or have any contact with. People that need Shell Harbour Hospital not to be privatised. No, they don't get that, so they get to sit in a fucking air-conditioned office. Gladys Berejiklian scandals literally prove that she uses the office to enrich herself and her numero uno. It proves she hides shit from the press and breaks the law. John Barilara's scandals are proof that he'll do anything to enrich himself, including steal from the community he claims to support and love. Hazards, well, they just show that he's a hazard. He lets in plague ships. David Elliott's a proof that he's a funny
Hey, don't call me a It's a felony to swear at a cop.
Can I see your badge?
I'd pay for the badges.
Look at how lazy, untalented, and unchallenged the press are. This is what 9 News is using as an argument as to why Jodi McKay should resign.
Ms McKay has a long history of calling for ministers to resign. The police minister,
Why is he still in your cabinet?
health minister,
We are today calling for the Health Minister to stand aside.
treasurer,
The Treasurer must be stood aside.
deputy premier,
Will you now do the honourable thing and resign?
and Premier Gladys Berejiklian herself.
When will you finally stop deceiving the people of New South Wales and resign?
Jodi McKay has called for every Cabinet Minister's resignation and half the backbench, but she's now got to stand up to her own standards.
You have to resign over something trivial that you didn't do because you called for people to resign over serious issues that they didn't resign over and did do. How brainwashed do you have to be sitting at home and thinking,
Yep, sounds about right. Keep 'em honest, Pete.
I think that is proof for more than anything, and I know I've never said this before on this channel, but you really need to get 2 of your friends to subscribe to Friendly Geordies. You subscribe if you haven't, because come on, at least we're doing better analysis than the head of state politics at 9 Fairfax. And Channel 9 is talking to millions of people with that logic. Like and subscribe, get yourself a Lane Gang shirt, and this time I've got 2 hashtags for you. The first one is hashtag cancel Fairfax, because if you know anybody that is subscribed to the covert cum rags of Costello, get him out of it. It's a cult. It's just a giant nationwide Aztec-like cult. And the second one, hashtag buttstuffben. Let's get it trending. Let everyone know every time they're going past one of those giant billboards of telling it like it is. I wouldn't mind getting a nice little twisty downstairs. Like the video.
Please share and comment below. Comment.